What's up, you guys? This is Rocco from Rocco Bernardo Coaching, and I'm super pumped to dive into this video and talk about excuses. So, the number one excuse that kept me stuck for years was this thought that I was too busy to lose weight. So, I want to work with you and help you eliminate this excuse by showing you what I did to get rid of it from my life. Now, for those of you that don't know, I lost 30 pounds in just 16 weeks after I finally got this excuse out of my life. And you can do the same thing. You just have to have a plan and you have to get rid of the excuses and you have to just buckle down and do it. So, this is why I'm credible to talk about this because I spent years stuck and I finally made the change and I finally made a huge difference in my life. And I've kept that weight off and put on muscle, and it has been so much fun. And I want that for you as well. So let's look at what I actually did. Now, as I said, I spent years stuck in this cycle of going to the gym, not losing weight, giving up. And then each year, year after year after year, you can see I'm getting bigger. I'm getting bigger. And I was just stuck, but I was convinced that I was too busy. And if you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, Rocco, but I actually was too busy, I challenge you. And I want to show you what I had on my plate. And if you're busier than me, then honestly, probably rethink things because being this busy sucks. Now, I became an RN, so got my bachelor's in nursing. That's when I started to gain weight, became a nurse, and then I got my master's of arts in Christian ministries, so another year and a half to get my master's degree to become a youth pastor. And during the whole time, I was working multiple jobs, but if we just start from when I became a nurse, then not only was I working full-time as a nurse for the couple places that I did, but I also was working at various restaurants throughout that time. And so I would work my full-time hours in my career, and then I would leave that job or have separate days where I would also work as a server or as a bartender. And so I really was working, I don't even know how many hours a week, but lots of hours a week, more than 40, that's for sure. Sometimes as many as 80. And a lot of the time, I was also having homework and studying to do on top of that. So I truly, for the longest time, really felt like I didn't have the time to work out. However, what you'll see is I was not any less busy in the time that I was losing weight. I wasn't. I was just as busy. I was still working full time and then going to my bartending jobs. And I had my priorities put together differently when I finally lost the weight. Because one of the things that I didn't realize at the time was how many hours a week I was actually playing Rocket League, for example, or how many hours a week I was sitting on my butt watching Netflix, binging my favorite shows. So it felt like I was too busy to do anything about it, but really I was just being irresponsible with my time and I wasn't in control of it. I was letting these quick, easy dopamine hits flood my system, flood my life, and instead of taking care of the things I was supposed to, on top of the busyness that I had, I just thought that I was using all of my time. And in reality, I was using a lot of my time, but I was wasting hours and hours each day that could have gotten me the goals that I've hit so much quicker. Now, I was forced to stumble into this by a shoulder injury. So I went snowboarding at the beginning of 2024 and I separated my shoulder. So this gap is the AC joint, and that is not supposed to be there. Those are supposed to be connected. But for me, those were unconnected. So I spent about 4 to 5 weeks unable to go to work. And so I stayed up late, I slept all day, didn't really matter what I was doing because I couldn't do anything productive anyway. And then the week before going back to work, I realized I'm screwed, right? Like I haven't had a sleep schedule. I haven't woken up to an alarm. 6 a.m. has not seen me at all in the past 5 weeks. And so I knew that I needed to make a change. And this was the change that I made. Now, slight warning, nobody wants to do this, okay? This is not an easy change to make, but bear with me. I will give you alternatives and I will explain the benefits. So just bear with me. Don't click off this video just because it's difficult. So the number one change I made to get started with eliminating this excuse was I set a no electronics on weeknights rule for myself. So that meant no TV, no video games, and no doom scrolling. My phone was on do not disturb and plugged in at like 8 p.m. and I replaced it with reading a book or doing a puzzle. Now, before you make fun of me and call me a nerd, which I'm with you, I mean, I am a nerd, but whatever. The benefits of this is that it helped me go to sleep when I was tired instead of getting stuck in that loop of just one more, right? Just one more episode lasts for 4 or 6 episodes, depending on where you're at in your season of TV show. Just one more game with the boys lasts hours if you let it. And so I knew that if I needed to wake up at 6 a.m. and my body was going to fight that because I hadn't done it in 5 weeks, that I needed to not play video games, not have TV on. And what I found was that I accidentally just went to bed earlier because when I was tired, I wasn't reading for an extra 3 hours. It's so much easier to watch TV when you're tired because it doesn't take brain work. It was just mindless activity. By eliminating that, I went to bed earlier, which set me up for success. And I also realized that the extra time that I had spent playing Netflix turned into cooking dinner, preparing lunch, and working out to rehab my shoulder. And so what I did was I just continued with these habits and with that rule for myself for an extended period of time. I don't remember exactly how long. I did it for a while because I liked the effect it had in my life even more than the hours that I used to spend binge watching my favorite shows or playing video games with friends 5 nights a week, which is, I just didn't need to do that. Now, I told you I'd provide you some alternatives, so just an idea, but possibly setting a rule that you don't get on your electronics until you've cooked dinner, prepared lunch for the next day, and gone to the gym. Make yourself earn that Netflix. And another thought is to have a hard stop for electronics after 10 p.m. so that way you actually go to bed. I don't know what the rules need to be for you. And the other thing is none of these have to be long-term changes. So for me, I went probably a couple months with the rule of no electronics. Now I watch Netflix at night, but I don't play video games with my friends because I know I can turn Netflix off at 10 p.m. and just go right to bed. But if I'm playing games with my friends, it's so easy to get talked into one more. So 99% of the time now, I keep the no video games with friends rule for weekdays because I want to make sure that I'm getting sleep and taking care of everything I need to. But I do go back to enjoying Netflix at the end of the night. And the thing is, once these habits are built for you, once you're a different person, you can add things back in and test yourself. But the person that's lazy, the person that's watching 3 hours of Netflix every night, like I was, that person isn't ready to make the sacrifices and to just watch 2 episodes of Netflix, right? I can watch 10 minutes of Netflix and go to sleep now, where before I was watching for hours and hours every night and I didn't see a problem with it. So again, you don't have to do these rules, but this is like if you're serious about wanting to make this change and you can sit down and think about how you spend your evenings and you realize you're in the same boat as me, then this is something worth considering to help you start building these habits, to help you lose weight, to help you get in the gym and fix your diet so that you can be healthy. And again, they can be temporary. The point isn't to suffer, or the point isn't to um, limit yourself long term. The point is to become a different person who takes care of themselves, who loves the way they look in the mirror, and who absolutely does what it's needed to become the man that they want to be. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. I hope you find it helpful. And again, you don't have to do this, but if you're not willing to do this, at least take a look at how you're spending your time. Because maybe you don't have to do this, but maybe you do need to realize that the time is there, right? You're spending 30 minutes a day that you could be in the gym doing something else. You're getting your food from a supply that isn't your own kitchen or that isn't healthy. So figure out what your excuse is and find ways to work around it. For me, this is the easiest thing. I just cut that stuff out. I got more sleep each night and it was fine. And I didn't miss it. I mean, a little bit initially, but you get over it so quickly and then you just go to sleep when you're tired. The amount of times I'd spent yawning in my chair because I didn't want to go to sleep, but I also wasn't really interested in the show that I was watching and I was super tired. Like that goes away if you're just reading because you yawn once and you close the book and you just go to sleep. Now, I love this quote because you're sitting there and you're like, oh, Rocco, this plan sucks. I don't want to do this. Well, Thomas Jefferson, if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. So if you're sitting there and you're 30 pounds overweight or 20 pounds overweight and you don't take care of yourself, you don't eat well, you don't go to the gym, you have to be willing to do something that you haven't done to get the results that you don't have, right? That maybe you used to have or that you've never had, but you have to do something different. Binging Netflix isn't getting you those results. Games with the boys 5 nights a week isn't getting you those results. So, what do you have to sacrifice or set aside in order to get these results? I don't know what that answer is for you. For me, those were easy sacrifices that I made, and I got to move on. And now I look great. I love it. I started a business helping other people do the same. Like, so much good has happened from those nights where I just went to bed early because I wasn't on my phone or watching Netflix, mindlessly scrolling. So decide what it is that you can give up, decide what it is that you have to do. But I do need you to admit at the end of this video, which is now, you do have enough time. You're just simply making choices that put that time towards other things. That's what you have to admit to yourself if you're going to do any of these changes and if you're going to become a person that you're not currently. Now, I hope you found that video super helpful. I have more videos. Please feel free to click through those, watch those, subscribe to my channel so you can see new ones as they come out. But I would love to help you, either just through my YouTube content, my Instagram content, or through one-to-one coaching, which I do offer. I want to help people get their crap together, lose weight, love the way they look, become healthy, and become confident men of God. So if that's what you're after, please follow my channel, hit me up for coaching. But I hope you have a great day, and I hope that my videos can be of service to you, can help you kick your goals in the butt this year.